Well, as the Summer Olympics draw to a close in Tokyo, it's been an eye-opener for the entire country. In several ways, it was India's best ever performance at the Olympics with a tally of 7 medals, including a first ever gold in track and field. Is Tokyo what was needed to wake up a potentially sporting giant in India? Here's how Indian athletes impressed 1.3 billion, and then we have a special panel on the show.
Let it fly, and he has let it fly. It's out there. He's not getting a bet at what he's already done because he doesn't need to. He is an Olympic champion. Neeraj Chopra.
With that throw, he made history, doing what no Indian has in history.
Champion Neeraj Chopra.
मैं 90 मीटर के काफी करीब हूं, तो मेरा एक सपना है कि मैं 90 मीटर थ्रो करूं, और अभी हो नहीं पाई अभी तक, लेकिन हाँ ये जरूर है कि हाँ आगे पक्का करूंगा मैं।
पानीपत ने पानी दिखा दिया।
The story of the Olympics has been won. History has been made.
It was tough, but yeah, as I mentioned, even though, we play with a low rank player or high rank player, it's just that we need to give our best and play our game, because, you can't expect, easy matches at Olympics.
Battling all challenges, they have made India proud with determination and grit.
Struggle starting से ही मतलब देखने को मिला। जैसे बॉक्सिंग में आने के पहले तो लड़की है बोल के ही बहुत लोग बहुत बात बोलते थे कि गांव में ऐसा था कि लोग बोलते थे कि पिछले जन्म में मम्मी पापा ने कुछ मतलब गलती किया होगा, इसीलिए इस जन्म में लड़की पैदा हुई और लड़की कुछ नहीं कर सकते, ऐसे सोचते थे। लेकिन मेरे मम्मी पापा मतलब लड़कियों से ही खुश थे। वो लोग हमें ऐसा सिखाते थे कि हमें कुछ करना ही है और हम लड़की ही कर सकते हैं, ये ऐसे मतलब सिखाते थे। मेरी मम्मी ने बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल किया है। तो स्टार्टिंग से बॉक्सिंग में आने के बाद भी इतना स्ट्रगल कि घर से दूर रहना, पहले तो फैमिली से दूर रहना बहुत बड़ी बात है।
Training hasn't been easy in the COVID period, but that's what makes them special.
पहले से ही सोच रही हूँ, जब से 5 साल पूरा हो गया है मैंने इसी के लिए तैयारी करते हुए, क्योंकि ये ओलंपिक में मेरा फेल हुआ था, तो इसी को मुझे कवर करना था टोक्यो ओलंपिक में। तो मैं पूरा इसी को ही मैं फोकस करती हूँ, मुझे टोक्यो में मेडल लेना है। तो इसी में से मुझे ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस और ज़्यादा बढ़ गई थी, तो मैंने पूरा मेहनत किया।
A resurgence of India's golden period in sports.
First of all, काफी अच्छी प्राउड मोमेंट थी एंड इमोशनल मोमेंट भी थी हमारे लिए, क्योंकि इतने टाइम के बाद इंडिया ने मेडल जीता एंड हॉकी में।
And super performances in wrestling.
अच्छा लग रहा है और देश के कुछ मेडल दिया, मैं सिल्वर मेडल ही दिया, चलो तो उसके लिए मतलब बहुत अच्छा लगा। तो काम आए, कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं, थोड़े बहुत तो।
देखिए, मेडल जीतना अपने देश के लिए, हर खिलाड़ी के लिए बहुत मतलब उससे अच्छा शायद मेरे को नहीं लगता कुछ समय होगा एक खिलाड़ी के लिए कि अपने कंट्री को वो जश्न मनाने का मौका दे रहा है।
We have made headway. It's been an Olympics of many firsts.
It was a good week. I think you're always excited playing at the biggest stage, in sports, which the Olympics is, and I had a really good week. I was in the top 3 for the first 3 days. Obviously, I wanted to finish the top 3 again, but I mean, 4th is still a good week, so I'm happy.
टूर्नामेंट जब स्टार्ट किया था तो हमने स्टार्टिंग में मतलब कि 3 मैच लूज किए थे, तो उसके बाद हमारे पास लास्ट ही चांस था कि अगर हमें आगे जाना है तो आयरलैंड को बीट करना ही पड़ेगा। तो उसमें टीम ने सोचा था कि हमें बस अपना बेस्ट करना है, जो भी रिजल्ट होगा वो बाद में देखेंगे।
What next for Indian sport? Look at the funding over the years and it will tell you the story of what we need to focus on instead of being a one-sport nation. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And joining us on the show this evening, Rahul Mehra, lawyer and sports columnist, Dr. Sunita Kudara, former Asian champion and marathon runner, Shimon Sharif, who's a former Indian shooter, Shihan Hossaini, Joint Secretary, Archery Association of India, Director of Coaches Committee, Archery Association, Shaji Prabhakaran, President of the Delhi Football Association, joining us on the show, Meer Ranjan Negi is joining us. I can see him in the frame there. He's a former hockey player and former goalkeeper of the Indian national field hockey team. I can see him. We'll just fix his audio. I think he's indicating that. But first, I'd like to go across to PT Usha. PT Usha, former Olympic track and field athlete, one of India's best athletes to have, graced the field. Let me go across to PT Usha ji. PT Usha ji, good evening. She's on the phone line. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
Good evening. We wanted to get your comments on India's first gold in track and field at the Olympics. PT Usha ji.
It's a great achievement from Neeraj Chopra. It's a long wait for our Indian athletics, and he has done it. And it's a very, very long wait and a great achievement. And we are all proud of Neeraj Chopra. He has done it because winning in athletics is not easy. It's an individual game and it's a lot of competition. A very long wait, he has done it.
PT Usha ji,
he's very young.
I was just saying that, we've been able to speak to him today. We spoke to him at length, and one of the first things he says, and he's such a humble, grounded athlete. Now, he says, I always wanted to fulfill Milkha Singh's dream and PT Usha's dream.
Yes, because Milkha Singh ji also and even I also had come close to the medals, 1/100 and 1/10 of a second. But whatever we have dreamed it, we couldn't do that. But Neeraj has done it. So I'm very happy. And he's a young boy, and even he has done in junior also in Poland when he was a world champion in junior. I saw his javelin throw there, and so perfectly he was doing, so fast he was doing. I was actually like to watch the javelin after seeing his javelin throw in World Championship. So, and he's so dedicated and so focused, and he's very obeying, like he's a very disciplined boy, I felt so. And that is why everything is there, and talent also. That is why he could win the medals. Maybe a lot of sacrifice, but he has done it for the country. And I am very happy and very, very happy even yesterday after seeing that javelin throw. First throw itself, he throwed very nicely, and second throw, he did again better. And that time, we all decided that he's going to get the gold medal because yesterday was Neeraj's day. So we were all very happy when he was doing it, and it was a nice day yesterday.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, PT Usha ji, what happens often in India, and we've seen that, and that's why we decided to have this show this evening. We win something, we celebrate, and then life goes on. But we feel that Tokyo, whatever's happening in Tokyo is a turning point. Why do you feel, and do you feel it's a turning point for us to look at other sports more closely and pay more attention, put more money there, invest in athletes?
Yes, actually, winning, I told you, after getting athletic medal is tough, but he has done it. And even this will inspire youngsters, no doubt. Even if you see my performance, I have done in 37 years before. If I say new generation, they didn't see that I have done it that. But after Neeraj Chopra, he has done. If I say to my students or people, see, we can also get the Olympic medal. And now, after if I say that, and if say people, that children know, the students saw his performance, then naturally they'll get inspired. They are watching it. They are seeing the gold medal, and so it will. I think it's lot of change will be there for our players and athletes. And this, I think, he's a very role model because he has done it, and this inspire. I hope this inspire our young athletes, and maybe in future we may get more medals.
Yeah, all of us grew up. Reading about you, hearing your stories and watching you, and you've inspired an entire generation, and we hope that our Olympians also inspire generations to come. PT Usha ji, thank you for speaking to us here on Republic TV this evening. It was good to talk to you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go across to our panelists now. Meer Ranjan Negi, let me start with you. You were on the show a few days back, and we actually did some research, and Rahul can also come in because Rahul knows a little bit about sports administration. He's been a sports columnist as well. He's been following sports. Let me start with you. What has changed What has changed and what needs to change more, Mir Ranjan Negi, in the way we look at sports? I'm talking about all sports outside of cricket.
Well, Japan is a land of rising sun. And I think what Neeraj Chopra, Ravi Kumar Dahiya, Mirabai Chanu, PV Sindhu, Lavlina Borgain, Bajrang Punia have done, they have brought lights back into the Indian sports. Trust me, this 127 strong contingent, what left the shores of India, they have really done India very big proud. I'm saying because any athlete who goes into the Olympics, he cannot say for sure that he's going to win. And people like Djokovic, he lost. So many other athletes, they lost. And here was our players who gave their best performance. And this is the time from here we have to really look forward to. Hardly 3 years are left. And Paris Olympics are very, very near now. And after this complete celebrations, a celebration which will be unprecedented in the history of Indian sport. Something that people remember for a very long time. If these things, after all this...
Mr. Negi, I have a bad audio line with you, so I'll just try and fix that. I'll just reconnect you while we get our other panelists. We'll try and reconnect that. Let me go across to Rahul Mehra now. Rahul, we were just doing some research on how much India has actually been funding on sports bodies, associations. Now, here's what the government has been giving out since 2012. 1,152 crore in 2012, went up to 1,219 crore 2013-2014, went up to 1,769 in 2014-2015, went up to 1,540 crore in 2015-2016. Now, something changed after 2016. In 2017, that went up to 1,943. Perhaps after the Rio Olympics, we realized how much we need to invest in sport. And then it went up to, from 1,943 crore, 2,196 crore, went up to 2,200 crore in 2019, and then there was a big jump once again. It went up to 2,826 crore in 2020, 2021, and then there was a drop. It dropped to about roughly 2,596, 2,600 crore. Now, the point is, we have realized today, and I think realized today more than ever, that when you invest, and it's more important that you invest in the right places and you monitor. What do you think our learnings are from the Tokyo Olympics, Rahul?
So, first of all, through your channel, let me just congratulate all Indians and especially the medal winners for such a stupendous performance at the Tokyo Olympics. This has been the best Olympics for India ever in terms of the medal tally. It's been 7, and we've actually opened our account in gold, silver, and bronze for the very first time, all 3 categories. In fact, quite a few of our athletes also happened to just miss it, being in the 4th position. So all in all, a fantastic tournament for us, a great event for us. But we've also been very close to something like this, barring the gold that we won courtesy Neeraj on the very last day as one of the last events. And what a show it was. When he comes on, he roars like a tiger. His body language is like second to none. Very few Indian athletes I've seen over the years, and we all have been following it. I think all of us would agree that when he goes, he commands respect. When he goes, he almost owns his own arena. When he goes, he infuses so much of confidence in the viewer that he's here to really showcase his talent. So all in all, a remarkable achievement as far as India is concerned historically. If you say that in a 1.4 billion population, are 7 medals good enough? I would say it's appalling. But we can do it on another day. I don't want to spoil your show by saying all of that. But having said that, what can be the learnings you said? The learnings are many. To begin with, the entire National Sports Federation structure, the way it is allowed to prevail in our country, that needs to be completely uprooted. Most of the federation, top federation presidents, secretaries, and the office bearers have nothing to do with the sport that they are actually managing. They are there accidentally. They don't promote sports persons. They have no empathy in their heart. They only hog limelight when people like Neeraj Chopra actually reach the pinnacle of the sport. And you will see the president and the corrupt officials, tainted officials of CWG coming on national television like yesterday and taking and hogging the limelight from the only person who deserves it, which is Neeraj. Talk to his parents and ask them 4 years back, 5 years back, who was there to support them. Talk to any Indian athlete who has made it in Olympics as a medal winner and ask them, was it because of the sacrifice of their parents, their family members, their coaches, and the struggles and the trials and tribulations that they actually went through? Or was it the federation, or was it the state that actually, or the union government that actually helped them? And the answer would be in unison that it is the former and not the latter. So what are the learnings? Learnings are that celebrate as much as you want. We as a nation are starved of medals, and we are starved of gold medals, Abhinav Bindra being the only one, and which is why I often and almost always have the greatest of the regard for him and call him my Bharat Ratna. Whether the government of India, be it Congress or be it BJP, ever gives him a Bharat Ratna or not, he is the true Bharat Ratna. We have named the award, the highest award, after Mr. Dhyan Chand. God bless him, because he's been the greatest Olympian ever on the soil of India. But why only a name award in his name? Why can't we at least give him a Bharat Ratna, which in any case is? Why can't we at least honor him posthumously, which we have honored so many other leaders of our country? That goes to show that these are all gimmicks. These are all, joining the bandwagon when the going is good, trying to hog a little bit of a limelight when it doesn't belong to you. If we really mean business, there is a draft sports code which was actually prepared by none other than the true Bharat Ratna of this soil, Abhinav Bindra. Why doesn't the government of India accept and adopt that sports code, which actually ensures accountability, transparency, and responsibility on the national sports federations and the Indian Olympic Association, which has gone scot-free and which has been protected and prevented to become transparent and remain opaque by the governments of the day, by the powers that be over the last 75 years? Why is it that under the strong leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister, who has expressed and shown keen interest in Indian sports, who has been calling and promoting and supporting and encouraging our sports persons all throughout the games, we have seen that. Why can't he for once take the lead and say, I don't agree that politicians should be a part of the sports federations in the running of the sports federations. I will ensure that from today onwards, the learning will be that it will be the sports persons, it will be the administrators who have actually proved their administration skills. What has a politician proved apart from the fact that he brings in bad politics into Indian sports? So therefore, learnings are, have tenure restrictions, ensure there is no politician who is obstructing the entire administrative structure of Indian sports, make it more transparent, make the NSFs accountable, including the IOA, ensure that women representation, just imagine, 2012, 3 out of the 6 Olympic gold medalists were women. 2016, 2 out of 2, 100% record, PV Sindhu and Sakshi Malik, women. The current Olympics, 3 out of the 6 individual individual medals that we won are women. 50% or more contribution to Indian sports medals is by women in the last decade. Why is it that there is not a single women administrator? Why is it that we treat women today as if they don't exist? Why is it that 50% of Indian population, 50% of the medal winners, if not 100%, are given at least 50% of representation in the women in the administration of Indian sports?
Yeah.
So who will address all of this?
Some very, very valid questions being raised, and I think that's a very uncomfortable subject that politicians won't want to talk about. Meeranjan Negi, I saw him, he's still smiling, but Sunita Godara, you heard what Rahul Mehra said. You want to respond to that?
I endorse Rahul Mehra. Whatever he said, I'm endorsing it. And now we are just, celebrating the victory of all the medal winners, especially Neeraj Chopra. So, as an Asian champion, I would like to add that, when we see Neeraj Chopra, even now, when you ask him, what will you do now in future for your next, record-breaking performance and all that. So, every time he's saying, if visa problems are solved, why an Olympic medalist, an Asian Games medalist and Commonwealth medalist, under-20 world record holder, world championship gold, and still he's saying if visa problems are solved? It means there is something lacking somewhere, The athlete, he should only concentrate on his performance, what Neeraj Chopra has done, and he has shown it. But these visa problems and the finances and the trips and exposures, this is all about management.
Yeah.
So there is something, lacking in management. That's one thing. But what Neeraj Chopra has done, he has broken the barrier of, we used to say in athletics, in throws, your height should be 6+, your weight should be 80+. He has broken all those theories, And now all the general public, the commoners and the sports people who are now inspiring seeing Neeraj Chopra, they will aspire to become Olympic medalists because they will never think that height should be 6 feet plus and the weight should be this much and the body frame should be that much, because Neeraj has shown path to these new youngsters, He has become a real superstar, supermodel, the pride of India, and then, role model for all youngsters,
We have two associations being represented on the panel. Let me get in, Shihan Hossaini or Shaji Prabhakaran. Shaji, you want to go first? You heard what Rahul Mehra said, but it's an uncomfortable subject that most people don't want to talk about. Where do you stand on this? See, we celebrate 23 hours, 1 hour we debate about what needs to be done. I think it's fair, and he had some valid points to make. Where do you stand on that?
First of all, congratulations to all of the, medal winners and, Neeraj Chopra's achievement really, made India fly high, and that's really the best part of this Olympics, and the hockey coming back and getting in the podium is absolutely the best thing happened as a team sport. The first team to win after a long gap. Coming back to what Rahul Mehra mentioned about governance part of sports, absolutely no doubt. We have to change, we have to reform, and that is need to happen. Whether politicians or no politicians, we need to reform the sports governance in India, significantly. Otherwise, we won't reach to, what China is doing right now. See their jump, compare 2016, what China achieved and what they achieved in 2021. They have jumped, they narrowly missed the first position. And like, consistent countries like Great Britain, USA, Germany, all these countries, the governance of sports is something, is not compromising. And as Rahul Mehra said about women's participation in the administration part is absolutely negligible. And we need to bring at least 50% of women's into sports administration. Otherwise, we will lose the momentum of what our women's are achieving, and bringing glory to Indian sports. Therefore, what it requires is, a holistic discussion and a very open-minded approach where merit, sports is all about merit. It is not that somebody we can push, and it should be across. It's not only on the pitch, but off the pitch, the merit should speak. And that is what should be the approach of the government. Government means well, because government has pushed a lot of support to our athletes. and that we can see, and that's how we could get this number of medals. We could have got more if some of the athletes were lucky on that particular day. But what we need is, no doubt, I'll be fully backing any reform which will bring in global best practice to Indian sports, and that way what we need to see, we are capable to be in the top 5 in Olympics. That is the level we have. See Neeraj coming from a village, Lavlina coming from a remote village from Assam, the first medalist from Assam. See her story, and we have all across the country, we have all the talents. But why we are not able to reach? Because our structure and system, still, at a very primitive level as far as federations are concerned. They are very weak in every way, and that we need to strengthen them, and with a reform, and that way the government can come up with a new law whereby makes it certain thing mandatory, not compromising. Because if we compromise on that part, we will be, not crossing, not more than 10 medals, whatever we do. Yeah, because government need to think, even if they are investing 2,500 crore, that need to bring in the best of return. And I would say this is not the best of return. And we need more investment coming in. The more investment will come in when there is, complete transparency, a better governance, and the corporate investment will have to grow. And that is what
I'll make a point about investment.
Better governance.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, because Mir Ranjan Negi is leaving in 2 minutes. I'll just make one point and hand it over to him, and then I'll come across to the rest of the panelists who haven't spoken. Mir Ranjan ji, see, he speaks of a change, a radical change, reforms, right? We looked up some numbers, right? I'll just cite 2 or 3 figures and then I'll hand it over to you. Look at the monopoly, right? We spoke about monopoly. You were on the debate with Arnab a few days back. The BCCI net worth is 14,500 crore, right? In 2018 alone, their income was 4,000 crore. IPL income, 2,400 crore. 2018 media rights, 828 crore, right? Now, the cricket team got a 5 crore bonus for winning the Border Gavaskar trophy, okay? We were celebrating the hockey teams, right, the men and women, and how they played. Fantastic. You know what they got in the run-up to the Olympics starting February? Sir, you're a hockey player. They got 50,000 rupees per month allowance for the Olympics. This was a one-time bonus allowance for the Olympics, 50,000. Now, I want you to, come in with this, and then we'll go across and get the other panelists in as well.
Well, first and foremost thing, we must thank Mr. Naveen Patnaik for the help he rendered to Indian hockey. And I think Mr. Dilip Tirkey must have spoken to him. He's a member of parliament, our former hockey player. That was the main reason why we got a breath of life in hockey. And 2008, we did not qualify. 2012, we were the last. 2016, we came to number 8, and this time everybody was thinking that yes, we stand a chance in going for the semi-finals, and that is exactly what happened. But what I feel is that something good is happening in hockey. Something really, the figure is going up, and this is the time when the team should not be disturbed. In 1998, when we won the Bangkok Asian Games after 32 long years, and under the captainship of Mr. Dhanraj Pillai, this team, after coming back, was completely shattered because 7 players from the team were removed. And both the coaches, myself and late Mr. M.K. Kaushik, we were removed. So this is a time when a lot of love, affection, and everything should be given to them. एक आदमी की जो ईगो है वो देश की इज्जत से बड़ी नहीं होना चाहिए. And whatever rewards are being given, it should be equally distributed to everyone. Like what Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has done. Not like some state is giving 5 crore, some state is giving only 50,000. No, this is not correct. I think in Chakde India, this our one player, Gunjan Lakhani, she tells the senior player, बेटा पहली बार हॉकी में कुछ अच्छा हो रहा है, पहली बार होने दे इसको. when Kabir Khan, he tries to enforce certain things. So a new era of sports is coming up. A new atmosphere is being created. The advertisement should be given to these sportsmen who are the real heroes, not entirely to one particular sport. So if all these things fall in place, government, they take due notice of what the real feelings of the hockey players and the Olympic sport people are there, I think we stand a very good chance of winning more medals in the 2024 Olympics at Paris.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. Shihan Hussaini, Joint Secretary, Archery Association of India. Do you think a reform is possible? Shihanji, do you think a reform is possible and a reform is necessary? Most of them on the panel feel it's necessary.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, though I agree to many points of Rahul Behra, I do not agree to him saying that politicians should not come into sports. Somebody has said that because of the largesse of Naveen Patnaik, today the hockey team has benefited so much. And we have today a Prime Minister who is all out gung-ho on promoting sports. There are good politicians and there are bad politicians. There are good administrators and bad administrators. For me, I think that good politicians certainly should come into the administration of the sports. I would very quickly like to tell you again that rather than beating our breast, it's a tragedy that we are celebrating that we have got a handful of medals. It is a country with 1.4 billion people. What is absolutely wrong? Very quickly, I would like to go through 6 points. Number one, the entire change must happen at the bottom level. Parents, first of all, parents in India are not encouraging the children into sports. As long as every parent says, go to school, get the first rank, go to college, get the first rank, get a job, India is not going to go, it's not going to be anywhere in the medal tally. The first change has to come from our parents. Number two, coaching methods in the country. As an archery coach myself, I feel that we are very, very good technically, but the mental training needs to be upped. We need to start giving a lot of emphasis on mental training. Well, if you see, in archery, Deepika created history by going down to the quarterfinals. The men's team went to the quarterfinals. Atanu Das beat the 2010 Ochin Hike, the Olympic gold medalist. We had Praveen Jadhav meet the world number 2, Galsam Bazar Zappo, and he won. But when it comes to the finale, our people somehow they falter. It is only because they're mentally not trained properly. So coaching methodology needs to be emphasizing on the mental.
But why do you feel politicians should be a part of administration? I mean, they can be in governance and bring the change. Rahul was listening to you carefully on that part about why you agree on politicians. I also tend to disagree. Rahul is coming in. Yeah, Rahul.
Can I just ask a question? Actually, he answered his own question. See what the statement that he made, and he's an administrator. He's an administrator in archery.
Yeah.
Now listen carefully to what he said. He said, why can't we have people like Naveen Patnaik and like Prime Minister Modi? My question is, are these two administrators in any sports federation? A politician, if he wants to serve politics, for which he has primarily chosen politics to be his field of service, then he needs to be only in politics because it's a 24/7 job. You're serving the people of the country or the state. Now, you compromise with your primary objective of serving the people, and for some sidekicks, you come into administration of Indian sports. If you really love sports, please serve it like Prime Minister Modi. He is not an administrator in any sports federation. Please serve it like Naveen Patnaik. He's a politician, chief minister, not in any sports federation. Why does a politician wants to enter the field of sports administration of what? He knows absolutely zero, zilch. He has no experience. Just a minute.
You said it that the politician.
Let me complete, sir.
Allow me to speak also.
Sir, allow me to complete, then you speak. Why is it that a politician who has absolutely zero background, zero work ethics, 0% of intellect, zero passion for the game,
comes into the sport, and like your own erstwhile president, who was right from 1980 to 2014 till the time I took him to court, Vijay Kumar Malhotra, and for which he had to, after 44 years of uninterrupted tenure, I wasn't even born in the time when he actually took over as the president, and somebody like me had to go to court to oust him from the post, and then you refill it by another cabinet minister of the current government, Mr. Arjun Munda. Is that what archery is? Which is why you say about mental abilities. Our players are top class. Your politicians and your administrators, please relinquish these posts, and you see how the same Deepika, the same Rahuls and the same others, how they go and have a podium finish. You are the ones who are obstacles in the name of administration before these top-notch athletes.
Allow me to speak to you, Rahul. I think you have put your point across very clearly. Rahul ji, you yourself have said that politicians have zero knowledge about sports. The very reason why I feel that politicians should enter into the sports association is so that they can gain first-hand knowledge about the sports. And I object to your calling politicians who have zero intellect. Do you mean to say that all politicians have zero intellect? Unless and until Malhotra ji, the godfather of Archery Association in India, had spent all his life in bringing up the association would not have come to his position here. You are not the one to decide who is a good politician, who is a bad politician, who has got zero intellect and who has got intelligence or knowledge about sports. I strongly feel that since politicians are decision makers, they need to have first-hand knowledge about the problems of the athletes, the problems of the coaches, the problems of whatever is happening around. And I strongly feel that if I spend, as a politician, if I spend 2,500 crores for the sports, as a politician, I would make sure that to see that all the money goes down to the athlete, rather than the clerks and the workers and the infrastructure and the other administration. I very, very strongly feel that good politicians, I think that as far as good governance is concerned, as part of good governance, knowledge about sports is also very important. We have a sports department, we have a sports ministry. Why do we have a sports ministry? I think that politicians with good knowledge, as well as a good administrative skills, as well as a good heart, must enter into the federations. And I think, since you used the name of Shri Arjun Munda ji, Arjun Munda ji started the Archery Association, the archery movement. You talked about...
yeah.
Today,
can I... let's Shianji, before Rahul comes in, because we have Shimon who hasn't spoken. Shimon, you've been listening into all panelists. You've been a former shooter. Let me get in your perspective. Administration is one area where I think there's been a lot of debate around the shooting contingent as well, right? Let's come to the brass tacks. I'd like to hear your take on it.
Yeah, no problem. I was waiting and enjoying listening to this never-ending debate between politicians and our national federations, something which Rahul Mehra has spent decades in fighting. So it was very interesting. But nonetheless, Rahul, just quickly adding something to what you were mentioning, that suppose if we ask now, all these medal winners and the people who've done well in the Olympics, that who are the people who have supported them? Trust me, they will all say federations. The kind of vindictiveness that these federations, our sports federations are very vindictive.
You're so right.
And I don't think so. I don't think so. They will give the credit away.
That's right. You're spot on. And the same goes for the governments. They are so scared of the governments of the day that they will say the same thing for the governments as well.
Yeah. But having said that, this has been a fantastic Olympics for India, 7 medals, including a gold. And I'm so fortunate to, hear the national anthem for the second time in my life at playing at the Olympics. One back in 2008 when my friend and shooter Abhinav Bindra won the gold in the men's 10-meter rifle. And yesterday, it was really an amazing moment when Neeraj Chopra, won that historic gold for the athletics for the very first time. So fantastic Olympics for the Indians. My congratulations to every Indian and especially to the medal winners.
Yeah. Let me take one last question with Sunita Godara. Sunita Godara, do you think our attitude towards sports is changing? Now, see, we had one of our panelists mention how, the Odisha government came in and helped the hockey team, right, with the sponsorship. And you had several initiatives taken by several governments. Even at the central stage, Mirabai Chanu yesterday made a mention about how when she needed immediate attention and help from the government, 2 athletes got help. She was one of them, and immediately teams were flown into the US. Now, attitude towards sports is changing. Yesterday, in one of the news debates, Anju Bobby George made a very nice mention. She said there was a time when sports ministers would just come to the award-winning ceremonies, right? They would just show up at those ceremonies. But we've seen attitudes, even political attitudes towards the game change, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, you are right. Attitude is changing, but it is only at the top level. Only at the top level. Politicians, say Prime Minister, Sports Minister, everybody is taking a lot of interest. Naveen Patnaik has done a tremendous job by sponsoring hockey team. That is wonderful. But what about the grassroots level? When we will have the change in these stories of athletes, top athletes, those who are winning medals, that how they struggled and came up to international level. These stories have to change. And to change these stories, the grassroots level work is very important, and which can be only, it is a vicious circle. It can be done only with the government, the corporates, companies, and the federation and the management, all joining together and just thinking about athletes as product. Not for their benefit, but for the athletes' benefit, for the sports persons. If they start thinking this from the grassroots level, then only the base will be strong and we will have more medal winners. Yeah. Otherwise, when you are at the top, everybody acknowledge. Yeah. That's a different thing.
Can I just
add? Yeah. Okay, Rahul wants to come in. Last word, Rahul. 30 seconds. I have to end the show. Rahul, last word.
You asked very two important questions. One that look at how Naveen Patnaik did it for sponsor, partnering with Hockey India. But ask the question which precedes that. Why is it that Hockey India or Indian hockey actually reached a stage where there was no taker except Sahara, which had to be shunted out, or they were actually their sponsorship ended. Why is it that there was no taker to sponsor Indian hockey being the national sport? Who is responsible for that? National Sports Federation, the government of the day, they are responsible. Number 2, you said sports minister, look at what Anju Bobby George said about the sports minister, the prime minister. It's a great thing for an athlete to actually speak to the honorable prime minister of a country. It really instills him, propels him to give the best for the country. But this is not something which started under this tenure of the government. I remember every single national, athlete and international athlete actually was for the first time shown interest and taken to the sports minister, Mr. Ajay Maken. I don't like Congress and its policies. I've openly said that they all stand united as far as sports is concerned to destroy it. Be it Congress, BJP, RJD, ILD, whatever. All political parties are equally to blame. But Ajay Maken started this concept where he started investing time as a sports minister with the topmost athletes. In fact, I happened to be in some of these meetings with these international icons. They were amazed. They had never seen Shastri Bhavan. They had never been into the office of a sports minister earlier in 2011 and 12. So that was the state of Indian sport. So God bless Indian sports. And finally, one short comment on the contribution. Awards are coming after 2008, especially the gold, the 2. Where are they coming from? Because of contributions like, from the NGOs like Mittal Champion Trust, where Abhinav Bindra was supported by. OGQ, the Olympic Gold Quest, started by Prakash Padukone, Geet Sethi, and run by as a CEO by Viren Raskina, and now by JSW. Neeraj is a product of that. So let's not forget that the last mile connectivity, where it makes a difference between a national champion and an international athlete who can actually win an Olympic medal, that gap is being filled by these NGOs of sports. And we need hundreds and hundreds of more to come in at the grassroots level and at the elite level.
Let's hope that's a start, Rahul. Rahul, Dr. Sunita Kodara, Shimon Sharif, Shihan Hussaini, Sharji Prabhakaran, thank you for joining us on this debate. It was good talking to all of you. Thank you very much.